So today we're going to get a look at the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Imperial Probe Droid. This is a part of, well, I guess you could say it's a part of the 40th Empire Strikes Back anniversary package from Black Series. So very, very excited to have this particular figure in hand. Just received it from Entertainment Earth just yesterday. They started shipping these out, I believe, earlier this week, and I was one of the lucky recipients to get there. So we're going to get a very good look at this particular figure. A lot of people in Europe were able to pick this up at their local Majerus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I think they've been picking these up maybe even as early as last week, maybe even earlier than that. So this probe droid has been available at least for about 2 weeks maybe. But here in the United States, I think we're just now getting our release of the probe droid, guys. So today we're going to get a look at the 6-inch probe droid. We're going to get a look at the box. We're going to pull them out of the box. We're going to get a look at all of the articulation and detail on this figure. And then, of course, guys, as usual, we will put him in a diorama setting. And I'm sure, as you can tell with the background, it will include a couple of other characters. So, guys, let's get started with this review. So getting you a look at the box, we do have our typical Black Series box. However, on this particular box, we actually have a specific Empire Strikes Back logo on the box, which is really, really cool. And then of course you have your figure in the window. There are a couple of accessories that you probably can't quite see, but you have a staging pole right there off to the side that you would use to stage your character. And I believe he also comes with a mount for that pole that is designed in a snow-covered rocky area. So that is some really, really cool stuff there. And then also we have our depiction of the figure off to the side, our Hasbro logo, and then we also have our 40th Empire Strikes Back anniversary label right there in the corner, guys. That's kind of new to the packaging. And then of course we have Star Wars Black Series at the top. So very, very cool stuff, guys. Let's get a look at the other side of the box. And then on the other side of the box, he is number D3 in the Black Series line of figure, guys. And if you have been keeping up with the figures, you know that the D classification usually is a specialized figure, if you will. So you usually get this D classification with your specialized figures. So this is D3 in the Black Series line, guys. And then of course you have your Imperial Probe Droid underneath that. Very, very cool. And then of course on the back of the box we have a very, very cool description of the character. So let's go ahead and get a read of that description. So it says, commemorative the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back with the Imperial Probe Droid figure. Tenacious hunters, probe droids are armed with powerful blasters. So you get a brief description of the figure as usual on the back of the box. And then of course you have a depiction of the figure off to the side, all of your warning and additional information underneath, Disney, Hasbro logo, Black Series logo, again D3 in the series line. And then of course, as usual on the Black Series box, you have your probe droid in the background, but I believe it only has droid back there in the background. And then of course in red you have your Imperial Probe Droid. Very cool stuff, guys. Of course, now we are going to pull them out of the box again, get a look at the articulation and all of the detail on this figure. I am very excited to get them out of the box, so let's go ahead and get a look at this guy. All right, you guys, so we have our Probe Droid out of the box. Very good articulation, but we will go over the articulation in just a moment. We want to get you guys a better look at the Probe Droid, so let's pull them a little bit closer to the camera. So getting you guys a better look at the Probe Droid, guys, You just get some really good detail there. Very nice detail. Just as you did on the 3 1/4 size one that we received about a year or so ago, maybe a little bit more. It came in a 2-pack with Darth Vader, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a really good version of the Pro Droid. But to have this in the 6-inch scale is very awesome. Again, more detail there. So you have a lot of scrapes and whatnot. So this guy has definitely seen some action prior to meeting up with Han Solo and Chewie. But he is very, very cool. Again, you have the many different versions of the eyes, or what I'm assuming is the eyes here. And then my assumption is that this would be the front of the Pro Droid because you have the 2 hands there, or what seems to be the hands for the Pro Droid. So really cool stuff, very awesome. And even getting you guys a look at the top. Some of the weathering and detail, as you can see, there's little spots of brown in there to show you the dust and grime. This was some really good stuff, man. And I mean, the attention to detail that Hasbro is putting on the figures and vehicles, it's just really, really awesome. So really good stuff. Very good job by Hasbro there. Just really, really awesome looking guy. Different paint apps there, the red. Just very good stuff. All right, you guys, so getting you a look at the articulation on this figure. Of course, in the legs, you have a lot of articulation. You have your main leg, which is closest to the center and right next to where this pole, which is one of your accessories, goes. So you have this arm. So the main arm, as you guys can see, straightens out for you. And you even can straighten out the claw that's at the top. I do not believe that the claw closes, so there's no articulation to close the jaw, to have the jaws closed. But you do have articulation where you can bend the jaw there, and then it also bends here as well. And then you have more articulation where it bends there. And then of course you have the main one down there, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but you have the main joint point. So you actually have 4 points of articulation on that main arm. You have one for the jaw, one right there, one here, and then one right there. So really good articulation on there. And then it does swivel from left to right as well. And then next up, you have your 2 main arms for your probe droid, or what I would assume are the 2 main arms for the probe droid. Again, you have a very good articulation in the hand or the claw of the droid. It moves back and forth. I hope you guys can see that. And then you also have another joint there that helps you bend it up and down. So you have that there. And then you have the main joint underneath that allows you to bring the arm itself up and down. So you basically have a wrist joint, an elbow joint, and then basically I guess what would be a shoulder joint that allows you to move the arm up and down. So that's really, really good there. And of course the same with the other arm. And then what I would call to the left-hand side of the droid, you have another arm that comes underneath. And this particular arm does have also a claw. Again, the claw does not close up and down, unfortunately, but you do have a wrist joint for the claw that allows you to move it up and down. And then you have an elbow joint that allows that portion to go up and down as well. And then you also have the main joint that is underneath that allows you to bring it up and down. So really, really cool stuff. You bring it all straight out right there. So really good stuff there, guys. Then lastly, you have the arm in the back of what I would perceive is the probe droid here. Again, you have the claw. The claw does not close. So again, on all of the arms, none of the main claw joints actually close, but you do have articulation right there to move that. Again, an elbow joint to move it up and down. And then again, you have another joint on this arm, and then you have the main joint underneath that allows you to move it up and down. So with this particular arm in the back, you have 4 points or four joints of articulation. One here, one there, and one there. So really cool stuff there, guys. And then for the articulation in the head, you do have articulation that allows the head to rotate left to right, which is really cool. And it's kind of got like a notch thing to it. So once you move it in one position, it slides to the next position and stays in place. Next position, stays in place. So that's really cool stuff. And then I actually did find the blaster, which is right there underneath the main eye. And it is also articulated as well. It does move from left to right. That piece right there is your blaster, I believe, where the blast would come from. And again, that piece is articulated. It does move left to right, as you guys can see there. So that piece does move as well. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very nice. So there is your articulation for your 6-inch Imperial probe droid. Very, very cool, very awesome. And lots of detail on this guy. You have the many eyes on this guy, but really, really good looking figure, guys. We're obviously gonna put him in a diorama setting to get a really good look at him and see how he looks with in the whole scene. So there it is, guys, your Black Series 6-inch Imperial Probe Droid. A really, really good figure. Definitely, I believe, is going to make top 10 of the year-end list, guys. I always do a top 10 of Black Series figure, and this guy most definitely is going to make it. Excellent detail. Very, very good articulation as well. I guess my only complaint would be the articulation for the hands and clamps on the arms were not available, unfortunately, but everything else was definitely top notch. Your detail, the weathering, articulation was really, really good, again, for the exception of the clamps on the arms. And then, of course, you have a wonderful stand that comes along with this particular figure. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this particular figure. Have you picked him up? Do you plan on picking him up? Please let me know and put those comments down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.